college athletes have long been a standing tradition for students to be able to pay for their college tuition with their skills on the sports field, playing sports ball. But what if you're not into that? Well, many colleges now are also doing scholarships based on their student skill in esports, like Riot's League of Legends and Blizzard's Starcraft. And we have seen a huge resurgence lately. More than 10,000 students now play in the biggest college pro gaming league, 4,400 more than last year and 4,600 more than the number who play in Division I college basketball teams. So in some ways it has eclipsed NCAA sports.
I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
I love this. As somebody who spends many, many hours playing World of Warcraft and every other game out there.
Well, now you better brush up on Starcraft.
I know. I never played Starcraft, but I play as much as I possibly can. I'm a huge gamer, so I think this is the coolest thing ever. I love this.
Where was this when I was in college?
I
could have been a contender.
Didn't exist yet. Riot is new. I'm not saying anything other implicating.
Yes, computers had been invented.
Yeah,
Kim, that's true.
Calculators. I played on calculators.
These links are heavily sponsored by the companies that make these games, including Riot and Blizzard, pushing for more college leagues, college player interaction. Some players even take years off to go play competitively. There was one person mentioned in this New York Times article who returned to school this fall to focus on his pre-med because he did not perform as well as he had hoped in the pros for StarCraft. While even benchwarmers in the National Basketball Association make more than $500,000 a year, the same is not true of pro gamers. Of course, it's not the same amount of money. There are some high stakes out there. And of course, these are heavily attended events. If you've ever seen the League of Legends World Championships,
so cool.
You know it is a crazy event on par with any huge basketball game.
Yeah.
I think this is fantastic. Yeah, I wish they had this when I was in college too. I probably never would have gotten any work done, but don't care. Because video games are more important.
Well, I like seeing, because sometimes we go like, oh, video games, what are you? Some kind of loser. But it's, no, you are paying for your college, and maybe you have a way to fund your life, or you make a career out of it even. And that's really cool for me. I was on the main show for the Young Turks once, and there was an argument of should esports be considered professional gaming, or not professional, like a sport,
real
like
sports.
A professional real sport. I was the only one who said yes, and I got outvoted.
Really?
But
Dexterity, I mean, it's about your ability to analyze the situation, your dexterity, your intelligence,
teamwork,
strategy, communication, teamwork.
People are certainly looking at this with skepticism, but it was brought up that this is how people looked at basketball when it was introduced to the college scene in the 1940s. It's different for sure, but it is accomplishing goals for students, and it's also a very viable way to make money.
Yeah, and you know
if
what?
You're good, if you're good.
If you're good, and that's the top, again,
you have
just
to
like
be
pro sports.
Very good, just like pro sports. It requires a huge amount of skill. You can't just jump in and be great at it. I know.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the top 1% of players can make a living at it. But I think, the important thing is that this has come about in the past few years, and it doesn't look like it's going away. So.
And kids, you can tell your parents, Mom, I'm going to pay my way through college. I just have to sit down here and play Call of Duty for another hour. I would totally have used that.
Would that argument have worked?
I mean, no, but I would have used it
household?
anyway.
You find one that has a scholarship available, and you go for that game.
They are, and it looks like Blizzard is helping out with scholarships. I mean, that's the interesting thing, is that these companies are incentivizing people developing esports. So I think it's great.
I think it's fantastic.
Very
but
cool.
what do you think, audience? And what do you think of the idea of offering scholarships for gaming merit? We obviously have a great opinion, but what is yours? Let us know below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe.